everybody, welcome back to TechOdyssey. So, second Pixel video in a row. I read something interesting today regarding the upcoming Pixel 6a. So if you pay attention to the leaks and the rumors and all that stuff, our dear friend Pixel 6 here has a 6a. So this has been historical. Lots of pretext for this. The 3a, the 4a, the 5a. The 6a is rumored to be coming out at Google I/O in the middle of May, which is a cool thing because the A series typically offers a lot of the stuff that you really like about the Pixel phone, but at a reduced price point. Here's the funny business. So the rumor all along is it's going to have the same tensor chip that's inside of here. Well, the Pixel 6a showed up alongside Pixel 6 in the Geekbench testing, and it actually beats the Pixel 6 in Geekbench score, just slightly in the single core by like 1%, and just better than the multi-core for like 3% or 2.5%, 3%, something like that. Either way, it's really, really odd that you would have this budget phone. See, a lot of people thought it was going to be turned down. Most people acknowledge it's going to be the same chip because they're not going to make a whole nother tensor chip. The thought process being they would just underclock it, maybe not make it as powerful, and then put that in the 6A. So you still kind of have this differentiation between the A series and then the regular 6 and the 6 Pro. However, after looking at the Geekbench results, it looks like, well, it's actually slightly more powerful. And I've been trying to wrap my head around that to see why that probably is. And I think it just has to do with some more optimization to the tensor chip. I think that maybe they've refined the process a little bit better. Maybe it's got a little better tolerance than it did in the original ones. Maybe some more optimizations. I don't know, but it slightly edges out by 1 to 2% effectively the Pixel 6, which on paper that means absolutely nothing. Like that's a number that doesn't really translate into reality. Like if you go put the two phones side by side, there's gonna be no difference. So just interesting to see that, but it's very curious to me because also the rumors, the leaks, the specs, as much as we can believe them, looks like it's going to have a 5,000 milliamp battery. It's going to have a full HD plus display. This might be the phone to get. Now, a lot of people, there's two people. There's the people who want a flagship level Pixel, and then there's the people who love the A series because it brings so much value. And I hate to tell you this, for those of you who don't like the new body style, everything is pointing to it's going to be basically looks the same. And I don't really fault them in that because whenever they do this, they kind of scale down their pricing and it makes things more cost effective. So I don't think anyone expected it to be the older style design. But everything is really kind of pointing towards it's probably going to be here and announced at Google I/O, which is just about, a month and a week away, not too far away. Exciting times, of course, and hopefully we'll get some more feature drops after that. Usually once Google I/O comes and goes, there'll be a feature drop, there'll be a software update. It kind of coincides with the quarterly update, which we should see April, May. Yeah, I think June is when we're going to see the quarterly update. So that would be cool. And of course, from everything that we've seen, it looks like the Pixel 6a is going to be here probably in July, just because of trying to get them out the door, having trouble with supply issues and trying to meet the demand for the launch. But otherwise, it's just really curious why they would sell a Pixel 6a, a 6, and a 6 Pro all at the same amount of power. And if you don't like 90 hertz, you don't like 120 hertz on the refresh rate, the guess here is it's probably going to be 60 hertz, and that's going to be one of the ways they justify the cost cut. It might have slower charging. It might not have wireless charging. I doubt it's going to have a headphone jack. I'm pretty sure they're going to take the charging brick out of the box. They're going to try and slim this down as much as they possibly can. There will be features that probably won't be there. Maybe it'll just have IP67 instead of IP68. I don't know, but they're going to have to find some way to charge less for it, which is going to be difficult because the price margin is already pretty low, especially when you got this guy, the Pixel 6, that came in at $599. I mean, yeah, it's going to have 6 gigs of RAM supposedly instead of starting off with 8, which, I mean, 6 gigs of RAM is pretty ample. I don't think you're ever going to have any problems with that over the next couple of years. It's still going to be supported 4 years, 3 years of operating system updates, 4 years of security. I'm really hoping one big announcement we get this summer is that they're going to extend that to 4 years of operating system, 5-year security patches so it can get online with the Samsung phones. They really need to do that. They really need to at least tie them or get out in front of them. I really hesitate in offering longer than that just because I don't think the hardware necessarily lasts up. We don't have a whole lot of phones now that people have been using for 4 or 5 years. The sweet spot is usually about 3, I think 3.5 years, something like that. So 4 years is pretty perfect. Not that it's not ideal to have an extra year out of it, especially the way hardware goes. The hardware we have now is just absolutely better than ever. So it's not beyond the realm of imagination that you're going to have phones that will last 4, 5, 6, 7 years and be still very good phones, other than maybe concerns about the charging. But I don't know. I saw it and I was like, that's really confusing that they would clock this slightly better than the Pixel 6 and 6 Pro. Everyone thought it was going to be less. And I was thinking maybe like a 15, 20% reduction in power, just to give people a reason to go buy the Pixel 6 and 6 Pro. But if this comes out at 5,000 milliamps, just over a 6-inch screen, and has full HD plus, and has the Tensor chip that's just as powerful, I'm going to have a hard time not recommending that to people, because if that comes in at $449, if by some way they can get it at $399, that's going to sweep the market in that price category, and that would be a great thing. Just like the Pixel 6 did with a lot of the flagship phones, it really undercut that. If they could come in at $399, which I don't think they will, but if they could come in at $399, which I would really love to see, they would undercut the mid-tier market too. And then they would have two really good bookends there on the $300 to $600 price range that would make it really hard for a lot of other phones to compete with, especially with that level of power and sophistication. So let's see what happens once it gets here, once we find more out about it. But for right now, it seems more and more like the launch date is imminent, and curious to see what Google does here. So I don't know. Let me know. What are your thoughts? Let's talk about it. Head down to the comment section. We'll have some discussion there. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys next time.